Hello, in today's video, I'm going to be going over how you can kill your depression. And in this video, we're going to be discussing what depression is, how it functions, and how to identify your own eternal depression and how to solve it. And I have solutions to solving it. But first, we have to identify what depression is and how it is inside of you. So this right here is a picture of the conscience, and this is a visual picture of the conscience and the being. And we will be discuss. So, in order to identify what depression is, we have to identify what conscious, the functions of the conscious, and the functions of the being. But just remember this picture because this is what this is, and I want you to understand something too. The being is a low vibration frequency. It doesn't produce lots of energy. The physical, your being, your functions, it doesn't produce high energies necessarily. But your conscience produces high frequency, high waves. So that's just something to settle with. We're not going to truly discuss this in this video, but that's just something you need to know. And okay, but first, let's go over these two terms, conscience and the being. And how they work. Okay. First, we're going to go over the being. Being is the physical slash vessel in which the conscience lies in, and the function is, and its function is the emotions. Now, the conscience, on the other hand, is the eternal, no, what lies in the being, and the functions of the conscious of it are spirit and mind. Mind means reasoning, thoughts, critical thinking, all of that. It goes with the mind. So, being is the physical vessel in which the conscious lies, and the function of it is emotions. So the being is really just, it's the physical. It's all of this. It's just your emotion. It's your expression. It's your external self. It doesn't hold that much weight, though. You have to understand that the physical, like I said before, it holds very low vibration. It doesn't hold as much weight as the eternal. But the conscience is what lies. The conscience is the eternal. It's what lies in the being, and the functions of it are the spirit, your spirit, and your mind. Now that we understand what both these terms are, and I'm going to be putting them up on there for you so you can follow along when we start to identify. So now that we know what conscience and the being are, the functions of them, we can now discuss the definition of depression. Because these two are the key things that go with depression. Depression. Depression is when the unconscious, I spelled that wrong, it's okay. I'm gonna spell everything a little bit wrong. It's okay though. Becomes conscious that the being and the conscious are in direct conflict within each other. Okay, so depression is when the unconscious becomes conscious that the being and the conscious are in direct conflict within each other. Now, what does that mean? It means that what it says, it means that the conscious and the being, they're constantly fighting each other. There's no order between your conscious and your being. It creates this self-hate, this hatred of yourself, the feeling that you are not who you are. You don't feel like yourself. And the key part of this is when the unconscious becomes conscious. See, you may have been already in this you may have been, going about life just not knowing that this conflict has been going on with yourself. But the problem, this is what depression is. It's when you become aware that your conscience and your being are having this battle. And that's when the self-hate, that's when everything comes falling down. Everything, it comes falling down once you become aware of this. And so to fully grasp this concept, we have to understand how the universe works a little bit to fully understand this. The universe has order. And what does that mean? Well, it's 4 seasons in a year. They all fall down at the same time period. It's order. Nature, everything has this order. You understand? That's order. Universe has order. It's mechanical. It goes on. It's mechanical. It functions, has the same functions. So, knowing this, and you yourself are a part of the universe. So, if the universe has this order, and you yourself are part of the universe, that means you should have order within yourself because you are part of the universe. And so, you not having order with yourself is where the problem lies. There's no order. This is where the hate of self begins, and I can't stress this enough. The hate of self. This is what it is because there's no order within yourself. You have become aware of this conflict, and this is what a problem like you aware. And so this is when certain people with depression, they feel like all they can do is just end it. And that's just because your body is in self-destruct mode because this is not its order. This is not its natural order. It's in self-destruct mode. And that's where the problem lies. That's what you're in self-destruct mode. You're in hate mode. You're in mellow mode. Self-destruct mode. So, well, now that we understand this, well then, so we know what depression is, but I mean, I still don't kind of get how this all ties together, like the conscience, the being. Well, I'm tell you why this is happening. Let me tell you why this is happening. Oh my gosh, the blue just fucked up the whole board, bro. I cannot use blue no more. Just absolutely crushed my board. Okay, so this is just purple. So how it works is it is when the being has more control over thyself than the conscience. This is what I'm getting to. So when the being has more control over yourself than your conscience does. So that means is you're making irrational decisions, life changing decisions, going about life, thinking about emotions, emotional based things. And that's not how that's not order within yourself. You have to process things with the conscious, with the mind and the spirit. That's how you have clarity, courage and clarity. You have to understand that. That's how you make better decisions going on. That's how you find peace within yourself. When your conscience has the higher function of yourself. And then it's the spirit. And then it's the being. It's the emotions. That's ultimately what Socrates in the Republic was talking about. But so now that we understand this, I'm going to give you an example of something I seen recently. I just watched the Avengers Endgame recently again, and I seen how this same problem was occurring with Bruce Banner, the Hulk. If you've never seen it, I'm going to just break it down to you simple as possible. If you don't know, we're going to break it down. So, Bruce Banner is a symbol of the consciousness, while Hulk is a symbol of the emotion, anger. He gets mad, I'm big angry. He's making decisions. It's irrational. The Hulk is irrational, while Bruce Banner is the smart, conscious one. And so we seen how Bruce Banner and the Hulk was having this conflict throughout the whole Marvel saga, throughout phase 1 through phase 5. Throughout phase 1 through phase 5. So, and in the Endgame, no, it wasn't Endgame actually. But no, it was Endgame, yes. In Endgame, we seen how the Hulk came to terms and collaborated with the Hulk. See, what happened was Bruce Banner it was the same body, but Bruce Banner, the conscience took control of the Hulk. So that's how you got Smart Hulk. The conscience took control. He controlled his anger, had control, peace within himself. And that's what I want you to get to so you can kill this depression. Because I want you to understand that depression, there's nothing external that can solve your depression. I mean, you can get drugs, you can get alcohol, guys, girls, all the money, all of this stuff, but it's never going to solve your depression because it's a fight within yourself. You have to understand that it is a fight within yourself. And so we have to, now that we understand this, now you may ask, how do I identify the problem? That's what we're going to get to now. Identifying the problem is where the conflict lies. It's where you're gonna have a big self-realization of yourself. And so I want you to understand something too with it. You have to identify the problem. You cannot you cannot solve depression without identifying the problem. It's just like a broken leg or a broken finger. If you don't know it's broken, it's going to stay broken. I mean, you can keep on playing with it. You can do all type of stuff, but it's gonna hurt. It might slow down. The pain might slow down sometimes, but it's gonna always come back because it's never fixed. You have to identify the broken self in order to fix the broken self yourself. Now, because this is an eternal battle. Now, the solution I came up with is one of the things, not solution, but to identify your depression, to identify the problem. What I want you to do is, I want you to sit in a dark room. Yes, a dark room, no lights, no noise, just you. And I want you to sit down and reflect how your conscience, I can't use the drill, this is gonna, how your conscience and your being have been fighting each other. I want you to reflect. You're sitting in this bubble. This is you. This is you. You should sit down in this room. Now you have is your thoughts. And I want you to just circle over and over. Just keep on going over how they have been a constant conflict within each other. And you're gonna keep on going over this. And this is going, I mean, you could be in this room for about an hour just going over because it's the self-awareness that's going on. And you're going to start to understand this hate, this self-destruction within yourself. And then once you understand, review, you should stop. Now, okay, I identified the problem. This is good. I mean, this is after you identify the problem, it's multiple solutions to it. But I have one solution. I have a couple solutions, but I'm going to share my solution and then I'm going to give you other solutions that you can do as well. Now, a solution to this would be, I want you to think of a time where your conscience and your being were actually at peace with each other. And I would usually tell somebody the time period where these two were at peace were more than likely when you were a child, because you weren't thinking, you had emotions, of course, but they were mostly at peace with each other because you weren't thinking about the past, you weren't worrying about the future, you didn't have fear, you didn't have this hate, you were just living in the moment as a child. And that's where the peace with yourself comes from, because that's all you can do is just live in the moment. Now, there may be problems that come in your life, of course, and all you can do is try to solve them because you cannot let them build up. Because as we see yourself, your depression, you have let this disease sit in you for so long that it has caused constant pain. I mean, it's misery that you can't even, it's misery. So, but that's what I want you to do. I want you to find a point of time. It could be when you're a child. It could be any point where you was at peace with yourself. And remember how that felt. And just remember what you were doing. And keep that in mind. And so now what I want you to do is I want you to go about your life, or at least the next few days, and just try it to just live in the moment. I'm talking about if you're a student participating in class, learning, engaging in the course. I know we may not like school, but I mean, you there. You in college and engage in the course. Actually learn, educate yourself and engage. Engage in the schoolwork because all they're doing is trying to teach you. Understand? And all you there is to do is just learn. And then if you at work, participate at work, enjoy your work. Because you can't, ain't no point in being mad. If you want to get a new job, go ahead and do that. But enjoy it. Just stop You can't have this. You can't go around just hating. You go hating everything. You gotta find peace. Just living in the moment. It's the best advice I could give you. And finding new skills, building new skills, doing things that you like, not what nobody else like. It's what you like. It's what you like to do. What makes you happy? What gives you your peace? And that's how you solve the problem of depression. Well, my solution, but it's also other alternatives that you can do. I mean, you could go to a therapist, but you cannot go to a therapist before you identify the problem. You have to identify the problem. Like I said, like a broken finger, it cannot be fixed if you don't know it's broken. You have to identify it. Therapist, you could talk to anybody. You could talk to yourself. I mean, it doesn't matter. Long as you you can solve it. Therapist yourself, doesn't matter. Whatever you do, long as you figure out what the problem is within yourself, this conflict, you everything you need is already within you. Everything that you need is already within you. You can solve the problem. Now, that's it for this video. I hope that you learned something from this. I hope that you could go about life being having more clarity of mind and peace with yourself.